Hi guys, Wings here. I just wanted to do a little video, talking about my ideas and like predictions for chapter 5. I don't really have time or like the space to do a full video at the exact second, just cause life and, this kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm just kind of, I'm balling right now. I do have a video in the works, about like a couple of these things. I can make a video about like most of this, honestly. But I just wanted to sit down and talk about it for a second because it's cool. So from what Toby's kind of said, just kind of talking about chapter 5, it's sort of the beginning of the end, right? It's when the story gets real. Like this is our last fun adventure. But just like from how Toby's been presenting it and like the tone and everything, I kind of think that it's just going to, it's going to want to be that final fun adventure, like with all our friends. But it's, yeah, I have a feeling some shit's gonna go down and happen. Like, I think they're trying to have one last fun adventure before everything goes to shit, but it's not gonna go so hot. But that's kind of general talk. So let's get into what specifically I want to talk about. This is just kind of me setting up, I guess the 4 pillars of the assumptions you can kind of make about Deltarune going into it. December holiday is the night. Ralsei is the Red Horn headband. Undertale Sands is from Deltarune, and you are the angel. There's a lot of stuff I could go over about all of this. I have an entire script written for that You Are the Angel video, but I'm gonna hold off on it until after chapter 5 comes out, just in case. There's a decent chance that this gets revealed here, honestly, especially if it's like a Ralsei focused chapter, because he knows about us. But I'm just kind of like, I just wanted to establish where all my assumptions are at, and like the identity of everything here. Yeah, so December being the night it feels increasingly more obvious nowadays. The exact circumstances are whack. My guess is that she's a Dustner with a human soul. Like if Gerson got got a human soul, he'd end up turning into something kind of similar. I mean, like, there's obviously, like, more that went into whatever the fuck happened to Des. But, like, overall, what I think the night is Des's body with Chris's soul. That's my guess. And I could get into why I think Chris's soul is separate from ours, or how Des and Chris mirror each other, or yada, yada, yada. But that's all points for a different video. I think Ralsei's the Red Horn headband because it just kind of, it fits. He has these little pink horns, and I know pink's not red, but this scarf right here is also referred to as red by the game, so I don't think that's a great argument. The Red Horn headband being like something that Chris abandoned one day, and that's kind of like what gave Ralsei his fear of being abandoned, and like you know, and like enforce that belief that that's what happens to Darkners, all Darkners someday. So that's kind of what I think he's trying to represent here. Undertale Sands is from Deltarune. This is becoming increasingly more and more textual as the game goes on. So like I'm not gonna cover it in too much detail. You are the angel. You watch over the game. You guide the party on their path. The angel is one of the 4 party members that you can use. The soul is our 4th party member. That is you. You are the angel. You are a part of the Deltarune. That's the entire point. And if we're looking at it like from a breakdown of like this thing is a chart, guys. We have Ralsei as the I want to zoom in. There we go. We have Ralsei down here as the bottom triangle. representing the Darkners. We have Chris and Susie here as the top two triangles representing the Lightners. And then we have the Angel here sitting above it all, guiding the path. I don't know how much more explicit it can get. So this is what we currently know about Chapter 5. We know that it's going to be one last adventure where we watch the sun go down. We know that it's going to be the Field of Pink and Gold. We know that the festival is going to happen. We know a bunch of the enemies, thanks to that new trailer. We saw this. It's pretty obvious what that means. And then we saw like these two things are the big things from the trailer. And I'm gonna cover this first because I think this is the biggest thing, but I also think this means nothing. Toby explicitly said that like the trailer showed the least exciting moments, and I think that's kind of what this is trying to imply. This looks exciting, right? We have this glowing white, what looks like to be a feather pen, right? And a lot of people have assumed that this is the white pen of hope. I think this is a red herring. This is wholly just bullshit. I think this is just gonna be a thing. Like this is gonna be like a gag. Like fucking the orange flower is gonna bomb in and be like, oh yeah, you wanted the white pen of hope. Well, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I also want to emphasize something about Susie real quick. The second hero, the girl with hope crossed on her heart. I want to cover this real quick. So the girl, this is Susie. This looks like Susie. It's in the same shape as Susie. She demonstrates that she's the one who has hope crossed on her heart at the very end when she resolves to break this prophecy. In wanting to break it, she has effectively placed herself in it, in the way that she was always meant to be. And a lot of people think that this sword is, referencing the fact that this might not be Susie, whatever the hell. That's bullshit, for the record. Gerson explicitly says that Susie has the pen known as Hope, the white pen known as Hope. Pens in Deltarune are always they become swords. Pens and pencils become swords. Even Susie references like, hey, Chris has the pen, they have the sword, but that's all bullshit. This sword is representative of the white pen of hope. This hope is something that she has inherently, which is why I think that this is all bullshit. This is just gonna be like it's gonna be a red herring. It's gonna be like Toby being like, oh, well, what was the theorist community gonna think about? And like we didn't quite get to this point because the brain rot didn't hit yet, but like, yeah, that's not the white pen. And then there's this. This, a lot of people are, I've seen a lot of people think that this is Flowey. No, I'll cover why later. Yeah, but this is basically everything we know, we have from chapter 5 so far. There we go. So what we can take from like all this, just like gathering it together and like putting it together into a line, because like this is just gonna take place in Castletown. This is fucking nothing. That's like micro behavior. Okay, so what we can conclude just from what we have is that Asgore will be the boss, and that it will take place in Flower King, and that these flowers are probably going to be bosses in Deltarune. I don't think we're gonna fight each of them individually. I think it's gonna be like a 2 at a time thing. But like this is Patience's attack from Deltarune, given form by Flowey. Patience is also right fucking here. They're right here, guys. They exist. They're right there. These 7 guys are gonna become Darkners, and it's gonna be a whole thing. I don't think Flowey is going to be here much for anything other than aesthetics, basically. Flowey is just, he is too tied into Undertale. He's way too important to Undertale's story. It's like core value in its themes. I feel like if Flowey appeared in Deltarune, that it would like fundamentally shake the bedrock of the game, because Flowey is Undertale. Like on a fundamental like level, he's representative of the player. He's like the final boss. He's the main antagonist. He's the one the story is about. Like inherently, the story of Undertale is the story of Azrael. So no, we're not gonna see Flowey here. I will be shocked if we see Azrael this chapter too. I will be actually flabbergasted, because that's wild. I don't think Azrael's gonna appear here. If Azrael appears anywhere, it's gonna be like right at the end. He's gonna walk in the door right last minute, and he's gonna cut to black, and then we're gonna be done. Because that's fucking hilarious. How I'm guessing this is gonna play out. We go to the festival, we have a great time, and then we maybe visit Castletown, of course, and then we hit up Flower King, and that's when like the Dark World proper starts. I think with Asgore's conspiracy board nonsense, and the fact that it doesn't really seem like he's fully in on the plan itself, I think he's honestly gonna get too close to the truth. So Carol or the Knight opens the Dark World to like to just like keep him busy, basically, so he doesn't like tell people, because that could fuck things up. Alternatively, he could open it just like to get his wife back, or Chris could open it because they realize something happens. It doesn't super matter, but it's worthy to point out. I think the sun that's back here, I don't think that's a sun at all, because suns cannot exist in a dark world. Like from like a metaphysical level, I don't think this is possible. I think this is Asgore, because keep in mind, Asgore, he is a big ass boss monster, which means his and like whenever we go into a dark world, we're obviously made stronger, and like we're given magic. So like whenever Asgore goes into a dark world, someone who's already pretty fucking tough, I think this is him freaking the fuck out about like Sans, or about like Sans and Toriel, or like whatever the fuck. And like he's literally in here, and this is the inferno of jealousy, and it's just like steadily swallowing the dark world or something, or like it's, you know, or maybe it is just the inferno and that light just makes it look like a sun. Yeah. We have to pull Asgore out of his feelings. I don't know how that's going to go. I see a lot of people say that Asgore's going to die, and I think that's hilarious, but I don't think that's going to happen. Whatever the case, the night arrives, you know, we seal the fountain, blah, 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 blah. I don't think the roaring is going to happen at the end of this chapter. I know a lot of people think that, but I don't think... I don't know. I feel like chapter 7 is going to be our dedicated roaring chapter, where we really explore like the consequences and the impact of it. It's also worthy to note that chapter 6 is already very far along in development, to the point where it's like by the end of the year they could move on to chapter 7, which is like insane. So I think the chapter 6 is basically exclusively going to be the shelter. Asgore is the only character who's tied with the police and the holidays, and potentially the church. He probably went to church, or he knew Alvin / Gerson. In Undertale, Gerson and Asgore were good friends, so like linking them all together tracks. So I think he's going to be the one to be like, oh yeah, I know the shelter code. It's 1225. No shit. And then we're going to go to the shelter, and that's kind of where the chapter is going to end, I think. Maybe with an encounter in front of the shelter. I think that would be cool, but like I'm not going to hold my breath. And then chapter 7 is going to be the roaring. I think we're gonna take a look around town as it like fucking falls to pieces. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be rad. And then I think the final dungeon will be in the holiday house, which feels backwards, but I think that's what the ice palace is like supposed to represent. I think the holiday house is the glacier, and that's where shit's going to go whack, because it's the middle of the roaring. and that place is representative of Des, Carol, and Noel, all of whom have weird metaphysical wacko bullshit to like like make this dark world like fucking unstable as hell. So that's kind of my prediction anyway. Yeah, I guess that's it. Bye.